Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jules MA here. Before you go any further, please don't forget to join the Jules MA family. As you can see by the title for today's look, I'll be doing a full face of my 2020 favorite products. First thing I'm going to start off with is my eyebrows, and for my eyebrows I like to carve them out using the XX Revolution pencil, and this one is in soft black. I've taken the shade soft black because my brows, as you can see, are very dark naturally, so that's what I'm gonna start off with. I start off with my tail. And to fill in my brows, I'm going to take my Plouise Brow-to-Full gels, and these are in the shade Espresso and Mochaccino. So the first one I'm going to start off with is Espresso, and I'm going to just use that at the bottom part of my brow. The good thing about this product is that it set my brows in place as well as give it a bit of color. So it's like a two-in-one type of product. And also the good thing about this, you can use this to fill in your brows if you would like to use a brush or anything of that sort. You can squeeze out a bit on a palette or on the back of your hand and then go in and fill in your brow hairs. The next one I'm going to take at the front, which is the lighter version. Right now, I do know that my brows are looking a bit crazy, but we're gonna do Operation Cleanup right now to make them look decent. Over my brows, I'm gonna take so your brush should look something like this at this point. And I'm now gonna go in with my eye makeup. For today's base, I'm gonna take my Plouise base, and you know I always use this base from shades 0 to 7. So the shade that I'm gonna take is 06. And to blend that out, I'm just gonna pat it out. And it should look like this. For today's palettes, I will be alternating between my Plouise Cancelled palette, and this palette is full of nudes. For all my nude lovers, this palette is for you. So this is how the shades look in this palette. And for the other palette that I will be alternating with is the Mama Mitchell palette. And this is been a really good palette. It's been a lovely palette to use. So I'll definitely be going in with this palette. Also, taking the first Plouise palette, and the shade that I'll be going in is called Ranting. So that's this nice chocolatey brown shade right here. And with this shade, I'm just patting it in. Even though I did use a skin tone Plouise base, you can see that any eyeshadow still pops on it. Like, it doesn't matter which color you use. And for today's eye look, it will be a somewhat crazy look, neutral with a splash of color, because I genuinely feel like I haven't tapped into my creative side in a long time. So we'll be revisiting that today. So the next color I'll be taking is called Cancelled, and that's that greenish looking brown shade. And I'm just placing this shadow down to blend out the harsh lines on the dark brown shade. I'm gonna go and clean up my crease using these two. This is my Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. I'm gonna carve my crease taking the Plouise Crisp Finish paint in blank canvas. I'm gonna firstly go into the shade called Exclusive, and this is a shimmery shade. The next shade I'm gonna go in the Mimi Mitchell Head in the Clouds palette, and I'm gonna take this shade right here. Going back into the Plouise Cancel palette, and I'm going to take the shade once again in the, I think I'm going to go back to the shade called Cancelled. Now that my eyes are basically finished, I'm going to do my skin prep, which is my usual, been my go-to from the jump, Charlotte Tilbury. No, not new to my channel at all. I use it every single time I apply my makeup. Starting off with the Magic Cream. Next step, taking my Magic Serum, and they do work hand in hand together. Was gonna try and use a different primer, but for the foundation that I'll be using, I'm gonna take my Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer, and I've been loving this primer right here. For my foundation today, I'm gonna take my NARS foundation, but it's been looking a little bit dark for me just of recent, but in my video and using it after that, it's been perfect. I don't know if because I've been indoors for quite a while because of obviously it's winter and the pandemic, no sun's catching me, no fresh air as such. I'm gonna mix my NARS Soft Matte Foundation in MARQUISES mixed with the NARS Longwear Radiant in Macao. And this is not my perfect shade, even though right now it tends to look like it. Angola. That's crazy. It's crazy that the MARQUISES look a bit lighter right now, but trust me, it's not. MARQUISES is my best match than Macao, and Macao is usually a bit light, a tad bit, 'chat bit, but I don't know why it's looking like a perfect shade right about now. But I'm gonna mix my NARS Soft Matte Foundation in MARQUISES mixed with the NARS Longwear Radiant in Macao. And this is not my perfect shade, but I don't know why it's looking like a perfect shade right about now. But I'm gonna mix my NARS Soft Matte Foundation in MARQUISES mixed with the NARS Longwear Radiant in Macao. And this is not my perfect shade, but I don't know why it's looking like a perfect shade right about now. but we're gonna blend out the two together. That's crazy. But the two of them mixed is making magic. And everyone knows I love my peaches and cream brush, and this one is in PC08, always using peaches and cream brushes. For concealer, I've been loving my Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I love a lot more concealers, but I'll do an individual video for my top 5 foundation, primer, bronzer, etc. in future videos. But I'm gonna start off with butterscotch. Then I'm taking cookie. And for my favorite, I don't cream bronze very often, but I'm gonna take my Huda Beauty, and I've been loving this cream bronzer for the year 2020, and I'm just allowing the rest of my concealer to set while I apply this. I feel like the shade is beautiful. I feel like if she comes out with a bronzer, she'll be spot on with the shades, with a powder bronzer, in fact. Blending that out with my PC21 brush from Peaches and Cream. The undertone is just perfect. I'm not going to blend out my concealer using my Juno & Co sponge. And I kid you not, the Too Faced concealer is the only concealer that I allow to sit for a while. If it's any other concealer, that is definitely my top 5. I really don't need to do this step. I feel like when I allow it to sit, it has more coverage and it sits one place. Going back in with my foundation brush just to blend out my edges to make sure that's even. Well, my face is still a bit wet. I haven't set anything yet. Usually I do go in with this before, but it can be used on top before packing on any powder. And this is the Hollywood Flawless Filter, and I love this for inner glow. And this is in the shade 6. I'm just gonna put it right here. And at the same time, that kind of blend out my edges while giving me glow. So just do a 2-in-1 type situation. But on a regular, I do prefer to use it under foundation. Don't you like sometimes be doing your makeup and then you be like, oh shit, just forgot that step. It happens to the rest of us really. But yeah, I'm not gonna set my face, and you guys now be loving the Huda Beauty powder, and this is in banana bread. Setting under my under eyes first. Look how smooth my under eyes, please. Look how smooth my under eyes. I'm just setting the rest of the places that I put concealer. I'm gonna go in with my Gucci bronzer. And the reason why I'm choosing this one for today's video, it gives a little glow. It's not a intense glow, but it gives a nice little. I'm gonna take the shade number 5 and this lovely brush, super soft and flexible. It just gives me life. Look how beautiful that bronzer is. Like, just the right amount of warmth for my liking. I'm not a big advocate for blush, but I'm gonna take this. This right here is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful blush. Now this blush is from Mitchell, and if you all know him from Instagram, he's a incredible creative artist. And this does remind me of the Rare Beauty blush, the way it sets and stuff. I've never tried it, would love to try it, but from people's reviews and stuff, it does remind me of it. This one is in the shade Cherry Cola. I'm just gonna put 2 dabs. And for today's all over powder, I'm gonna attempt to use the Fenty Beauty 410 in the Foundation Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I typically got the 420, but I don't know if it was just me, but for the couple of days that I've been using it off camera, I realized that it got a bit orange on my neck, but perfect everywhere else. So this is the shade of 410. So this is 410, 420. To me, this is very much confusing because this is 420, which looks perfect with the undertone, and this is 410. Make it make sense. I'm so confused. I love the formula and everything, but I feel like the undertones are a bit trash, if I do say so. Hopefully I have luck with 410, otherwise I'm just gonna bring it back. Just bring everything back at this point. Does have a bit of a golden reddish undertone. Guys, I'm so confused with this powder. Like, I've only done it in this review because I loved how 420 looked on my skin, the undertone and everything, but when it settled, I don't know what went wrong. I really don't know what went wrong, but I love the formula. I love the airbrush finish it's giving me. So I'm not in love with it. Like, I don't feel like these powders would replace my Charlotte Tilbury. My Charlotte Tilbury is my go-to. My Charlotte Tilbury and my Too Faced. I did want to try the Too Faced on camera side by side with the Fenty Beauty, but unfortunately I could not find that powder for the life of me. There's a lot of highlighters that I've been loving in the year of 2020, but this is a recent, it's a black owned, and I would love y'all to go and support this black owned because I even got it on 20% off. So it's £20 and I got it for 20% off. So y'all go and support another black owned company. You guys can find them on Instagram at Brown Melanin Makeup. For this highlighter, I'm gonna take melanin on my cheeks, and on my nose I'm gonna take this shade right here. This name is Beyond Me. But their highlighter blend so nice. I love that it doesn't give me any cast. A few products that I've been loving are the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, their lip gloss from the Jewel collection, and Vive lipstick. So guys, I'm gonna go off camera, finish the rest of my under eye, pop on some lashes, and be right back for a sec. To finish off my face, I'm gonna use my all-time favorite. Y'all know my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush flawless setting spray. I'm not sure if I'm feeling this Fenty powder at all, period. Like, I feel orange, but y'all can comment down below and let me know what you guys think, or probably I'm just bugging, I don't know. Okay guys, so I initially went in with the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder in the shade 410. No babe, it was doing me dirty, like it's too red. So I went in with my Charlotte Tilbury favorite powder. Like, I don't feel like anything's going to replace it at this point. I went in with number 3. Usually I mix number 3 and 4 to get my perfect, but I felt like the shade 410 was getting a bit dark for me also, so I had to go in with 3 only to just lighten it up a bit. I don't know if you guys can see the difference between how it was looking just a few minutes ago comparing to now, but I love how my face is looking now. Like, I think it made a bit of a difference.